Yo, what's going on, guys? SinSay here, and welcome to my dojo. Today, I'll be going over the best KOVAAKS routine for Rainbow Six Siege. I have two routines I'll be going over today. One is a warm-up, and it lasts around 15 minutes, and one is a training routine that lasts around an hour. I'll be going over the training routine first, since I know that's what most people want. In Siege, or any TAC FPS, the most important things to cover when it comes to aim is speed, reacting, and precision. However, I know a lot of you guys play other games too. This routine covers all types of aim, but is more directed towards TAC FPS like Valorant, Siege, and CSGO. It even helps with characters like Ashe, Cassidy, and Widowmaker on Overwatch. This playlist was made by another YouTuber named 4thBanger KOVAAKS. The link to his channel will be in the description. Make sure to go check out his channel. He has a ton of good information on improving aim. The share code for the routines are also in the description. I won't be covering every scenario, but instead, I'll be covering some important techniques in some of them. First up in the routine is Pokeball scenarios. When doing these, you want to try to focus on not overflicking nor underflicking. Underflicking should be prioritized if you can't land directly on the target. However, don't do it intentionally if you can land on the target. You want to underflick instead of overflick because it covers less distance and takes the least amount of time to get onto target. Also, when underflicking, you can use the momentum from the initial flick to micro adjust onto the target. This playlist also includes a scenario called Cooler TAF, which is a target acquisition scenario. This scenario is basically static. However, it forces you to make a lot of uncomfortable faster than you're used to flicks. This helps with situations where you may pre-aim an angle and someone is holding an off angle and you have to flick and hit the head, or situations where you're just holding an angle and someone swings you and you have to react and hit the head. First, what you want to do is go to settings, then visuals, and set your body color to a different color than your head color. When playing the scenario, you want to place your crosshair on the Pokeball, and when a solid colored target spawns in, you want to click on the Pokeball and flick as fast as you can and hit the solid color ball in one swift motion. If this is too easy for you, basically if you're hitting the solid color ball over 50% of the time, you can go into the online scenarios and type in Cooler TAF and find a version of it where the solid color ball disappears a bit faster. The next thing I want to cover is barred pilling. The barred pill technique states that when flicking, you want to have one initial fast flick, two are near the target, and then an accurate and precise micro adjustment onto the target if you miss the initial flick. When doing these scenarios, if you miss in the first 10 seconds, restart, and if you miss 4 shots, restart the scenario. In these specific scenarios in the routine, it will either stop the scenario for you, or it will include a reload that is so long that you might as well restart the scenario. Some of them you can only miss 2 shots, some 4, and some you can only miss 1 shot. This is to make you more comfortable with flicking and to improve your static technique. It works because it frustrates you when you have to restart the scenario so many times, or you may be extremely close to finishing the scenario only for you to miss the 4th shot with something like 3 seconds left, forcing you to restart. It works because your brain doesn't like being frustrated, so it will correct your initial flicks and make them closer to the target the more you do this. However, it doesn't work if you don't have the goal of finishing the scenario in your head. If you have the goal of restarting, then you won't get frustrated. You could be stuck on one scenario for 10 minutes, so I say do it for 5 minutes, and if you don't finish, then move on with the intention of finishing the scenario the next time you play it. Next up is speed target switching. I recommend a higher FOV, something like 115 to 125 Overwatch. Just make sure to change it back for the rest of the playlist. Focus on flicking faster than what you're used to with minimal shakes. Next up is dynamic clicking. What you want to do is flick to or near the target and try to micro adjust onto the target and click with minimal tracking. I say not to track, to work on reading the target's movement, which is what you want to do in game. Now, sometimes you will have to track, but try to keep it to a minimum, right? If you're very new to something like pass-through, extra small, horizontal, then you will have to track a little bit, but try not to track for 2 strafes. Once it strafes 2 times, then move on, right? And the more you do this, you will get better and you will be able to start clicking a bit sooner. Next up is precision and smoothness training. On these scenarios, try to be as smooth as possible. Try to stay on the target as much as possible. These scenarios will take time to improve at, so don't get discouraged whenever you are as good as you want to be at them. Next up is reactive tracking, which is probably the most important part of the routine. Reactive tracking doesn't only help with staying on target, it also helps with reacting to new information when it is presented to you, such as you swinging a doorway and someone swinging you, you holding an angle and someone swings you, if someone crouches mid-gunfight, or if someone switches directions mid-gunfight. Now that covers the entire training routine. Make sure to do this before or after playing Siege. If you do it before, make sure to take a break in between playing the routine and playing ranked, because doing the routine can and will cause burnout. Next up is the warm-up routine. I won't be going in depth on it due to the playlist being very simple. I'll also link the video to where I found this playlist. It is the Pure G Valorant warm-up playlist. I'll link the video to that routine in the description. It does cover everything needed in Siege though. Valorant and Siege have very, very similar aim. Just make sure to still do your T-hunts and death matches after the routine. If you guys would like me to recreate the routines in aim labs, make sure to let me know in the comments. I'll be making an in-depth routine on how to actually improve in T-hunt and the shooting range in next week's video. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like and subscribe. If you find anything I can improve on or have any questions about the routine, make sure to ask me in the comments and I'll try my best to respond as soon as possible. Peace.